to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in. The Fantasy Footballers Podcast, Andy, Mike, and Jason, Tuesday, November 18th. Welcome into the show. Happy to have you with us once again. Waiver Day. 3 weeks remaining until the fantasy playoffs.
Woo-hoo. Oh, man. Oh, man.
It's getting tight.
Yeah.
You can do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah, I mean the playoffs are on the way. I posted this morning, trying to get some consensus on who the number one player people are relying on is for their fantasy playoffs, and there was some Bucky Irving mixed in there.
Oh no,
we need Bucky. We need Travion to keep Travioning. Maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, see,
Justin Jefferson getting some catchable passes.
That's the thing. The way that you worded it was basically like you're going to win a championship if who steps up.
Yes.
And so that's not
Gotcha.
like I was going to answer the CD Dak stack. Like I've got Jonathan Taylor.
Right, but
that's not like I assume
difference.
he's okay.
Right.
The difference makers are these other guys. Like if Bucky comes back to people who are doing well without Bucky.
Bucky's the number one answer.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because teams are sitting there going, I'll be great if I just have this star player back.
Which, I mean, he will just have his role back. I mean, the fact that they have given Sean Tucker, who they would love to give 0 carries to, an opportunity. And Hampton was a big answer too. Yeah, Bucky and Hampton coming back from injury, the mystery around that. The Dak and CD stack, Jason, you weren't the only one to mention that one. Ooh, Bill's Stooge replied, the Fantasy Footballers.
Oh,
So
right.
if we deliver
Okay.
down the stretch,
hey,
Heavy is
embrace
the
the pressure.
I'm not the one who decides if Ramondre Stevenson is on the field.
Is the head heavy or is it the crown, Jason?
For me, it's
head.
both.
Heavy is the
Is it heavy
head.
as the head?
Yeah,
Is that
heavy is the
phrase?
head that wears the crown.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I
Eat it.
didn't-
You know what?
I didn't say
you know
you were
what?
wrong.
Oh, yes, you did.
I asked.
Your tone of your voice.
I asked a question.
Okay.
Heavy is the crown
Are
on
you
the
sure?
big head.
No, let's get back. Let's
Explain
get
the
back
median
to
to me.
Let's get back to that because I was shocked. My Twitter was flooded with people who were on my side saying
For what?
on how I explained the median.
Oh, no, you weren't wrong about the
Versus
details of it.
you
were wrong in the
saying-
mechanism of
Sure,
explaining it.
But you
You
kept
had
saying
about 600 extra words.
it was the league average, and it's not. Like that's
No,
incorrect.
I know the median's not the
Okay.
league average.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, but you didn't explain it as
I distilled
eloquently
it.
as I
No,
did.
you're right. You're right. I will let you take over the show for 12 minutes.
Check it out. Hey, the top 6 scoring teams on the week get an extra win.
Oh, he did it better.
Oh, that was
That's
he did it
league
better.
median.
super good. That was really good, Mike. You should have
You
interrupted.
explained it at like the IKEA instructions where it's just the dude who's like, huh? And it's like, well, which side of the board is it? And like, well, this one has little scratches. Is that the one that's painted or is that the one that's the wood? I don't know.
Have you been building some IKEA furniture lately, Mike?
No, not lately, but that little man haunts my dreams.
No, they're not good. And I feel like IKEA really intentionally breaks it down into even smaller pieces.
have you guys ever
You know what I mean? It's
done?
like, this could be built in 11 pieces. Let's make it 70. Let's make it 70. And let's make the hardware. Let's leave out 4 of them.
They want it to be an adventure, and you feel accomplished
Oh, you
when
do.
you put it together.
You do.
Have you guys ever fully assembled an entire not tiny thing from IKEA without ever having to whoopsie doozle go back a
Oh,
step?
no.
I don't think I've ever done it.
One piece.
Oh, that goes there?
Yeah, and I have definitely finished a thing where I'm so far along.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
You don't even know.
no, I know. I'm like, I'm not going back.
Well, I'm saying you
where it's
don't-
like the
It'll probably be good.
the unfinished side is now showing.
Yes,
from
that is everything. It's the unfinished side of something
You got-
always
you're
pops
holding
out.
3 planks at the end going,
But you get to a point you're like, I can't even go back. I don't
No.
know where this mistake
No,
was.
how do you-
Was this on step 3? Maybe.
I can still put books in here. It works.
That's it. You just get the white out. Just
Yeah.
just paint this up real quick.
3 unfinished sides.
Yeah.
5 pieces of hardware
No,
left
no,
over.
it's
Not that
art.
a can of spray paint can't fix.
Oh, my goodness. We got a lot to talk about the Monday Night Football game. We have news, we have waivers, we have our streaming quarterback options on the week, and 3 weeks to go before your fantasy playoffs. You can find us on X at the FF Ballers, at Andy Holloway, at Jason Moore, at FF Hitman. You can jump into the community, ballersdiscord.com, if you want to do that. I don't know what the total is, Papa Josh. Where are we at in total members on the Discord? I'm thinking between 60 and 70.
66.9.
Oh, okay.
Nice guess.
Nice. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk Cowboys. 33-16. I really thought about playing Dallas's defense this week with terror in my heart. I don't know if a team can look more regularly inept than the Raiders. Like, this is just, if you paint a picture of the worst season you could possibly have, that's basically what they've accomplished. They paid Geno a bunch of money. They traded it for him. He's awful. He's the worst quarterback in football or close to it. Bowers got hurt, missed a bunch of time, finally comes back. He does his job, but no one else is there to do their job.
They got rid of a very important Jacoby Myers. They seem like they are definitely missing a wide receiver one, and the offensive line is by far the worst. It reminds me of watching the Saints over the last 2 years, where it was like just
there's no chance.
It's just like I can't enjoy it. I can't. It's the least enjoyable team that isn't running out a second round rookie quarterback that really has no shot of being an NFL quarterback. It's like, okay, the Browns, it's not fun to watch, but you expect that. They don't have a quarterback. Geno, this was supposed to be a competent offense with Genty and Bowers, and it's just
Genty was 6 for 7 on the ground.
I wanted to throw out to make sure people understand that Chip Kelly is the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. What I'm seeing is he's at 6, and this is Google AI. I mean, I know Kelly's at 6, but then they're saying like the other guys, the other high earners are like Monken and Kafka. Well, Kafka's no coach, but $3 million a year, so double that to draft Ashton Genty at 6, if I'm not mistaken, to give him 6 carries.
This is literally
what
the retread team of the year. I mean, you've got Pete Carroll retread, Chip Kelly retread, Geno Smith retread, Tyler Lockett. Let's bring in another guy, and let's go Tyler Lockett retread on this one. And Raheem Mostert, let's get him into the depth of the backfield. It's embarrassing. I am so excited to have the Cleveland defense because they play the Raiders next week. So I'm probably going to bench. I'm going to bench the rest of my team. I'm going to rely on Myles Garrett alone. To win me the week.
And thankfully they did involve Ashton Genty in the receiving game. 8 targets, that was great. But I will say, if you didn't watch the game, which hopefully most of you did because it was a primetime game, it wasn't just that the Raiders were down and so they had to throw. They started the game where it was like
it was weird.
It was like their first 20 plays, they had like 2 rushing attempts or something like that.
They're like, oh man, they made that trade for Quinn. We shouldn't even try to run.
You know how they have the like sophisticated different streaming options? Sometimes you can watch like the Manning cast, or you can watch on Prime. You can watch the all 22, the X-ray stuff.
Yeah, that thing is.
I want a button that lets me watch only the possessions of one team, and I want it to just what I'm calling visual muting.
Visual mutes.
I want it to turn off the TV when the Raiders have the ball.
And I'll watch automatically. You don't have to push a button. No, that's a great feature.
Or blur it. I don't want to. It's obscene, so I want it blurred.
I would like it to go to the camera. It's just on their coaches.
Oh.
So it's like I can watch
cam?
I want to watch Carroll after Chip Kelly calls in his 15th pass in a row, just be staring at him like,
do you know who's passing it?
What are we doing?
Javonte, 22 for 93. Pickens, 9 for 144 and a touchdown.
George Pickens in this game was a manimal.
Yeah.
He's pretty much been that in every game.
Yeah, but this game was different because he was a tackle-breaking machine.
He was carrying people.
Because they benched him.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was I was finishing up a card stream, and I'm turning the game on in the corner, and I see Pickens and I see CeeDee standing there, and I just assumed they just finished the drive and they're standing there. And then someone in the chat starts going,
they finished the drive.
Well, and then so fast. And someone in the chat says they were both being punished together. And I'm going, what are you doing? But I guess they're playing the Raiders.
And I get it. You want to always we don't know what the circumstance was. this is. I mean,
they probably went joyriding during a meeting.
It's clearly a disciplinary thing of who knows what happened.
I saw,
but it's just these things are so funny to me.
Yeah,
we're like
speculation of
we'll put our
they're in Vegas.
Yeah. Like your best 2 players, we're gonna put them on the bench. We go 3 and out, and then you're like, you guys learned your lesson. We showed you so good. Now
we really need you.
They should have just
please go catch every pass.
Punted it on first down to get that drive over and get them back in.
That's their punishment.
Yeah,
their punishment is we're passing.
I mean, it was basically the same thing. They just lost the clock. All right, we really hammered the Raiders there. We're going to hear about that.
Also, CD.
Oh yeah,
CD man. You know how many people?
It really was more Dak.
It was.
I agree.
Everyone there.
There's
stunk.
a touchdown at the end of the game that would have been very consequential to everybody here in this office.
Yes.
Fantasy
and everybody else
across.
out there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody this week. Very, very, very few people this week, because I actually know one that didn't start Dak in a matchup like this. Nobody that didn't start CD. So this was relevant to all fantasy leagues. And the extra, I know he caught a touchdown, had a good game. Dak was incredible, but more. Give me more.
Yeah. So
just dropped a wide open touchdown.
CD was 5 for 66 and a touchdown. Ferguson got back into the end zone. Thank goodness, because he only had 16 yards receiving, which I think that's one I lost on the fantasy face-off, because I had that was my Green Goblin, 19 yards for Jake Ferguson, and he got 16. So
brutal.
Hey there, Wheel of Shame. How are you doing?
You know what else?
Welcome back.
You know what else is brutal? George Pickens, 58 for 908 and 7. DK Metcalf, 37 for 551 and 5.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Well, look, can I blame Aaron Rodgers?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I choose to do that.
Yeah, we can.
It's convenient. Let's talk some news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Jamar Chase has been suspended officially for one game for spitting on Jalen Ramsey.
Allegedly.
No.
Well, he's appealing.
He's still saying.
He's appealing.
He would have spit on his
all
face.
He wants. I can watch video and say not allegedly.
Well, Jamar Chase, in his defense, this is from Jamar in his camp. They're saying that if he would have spit on Jalen Ramsey, he would have spit in his face instead of on the ground or on the jersey. If Jamar Chase would not miss if he was going to spit on someone.
I mean, this spitting thing is ridiculous.
Stop spitting on people.
You know that if you did,
everyone.
I saw this. I think Damian Harris. He had this really well spoken. Remember the former running back for the Patriots?
for the Pats.
Damian Harris came out and he was just talking about this, but he's like, if you do that to somebody just walking down the street,
yes,
that's assault.
Yes.
The
police will get involved.
And I know it's spitting, whatever. You're on a field.
Don't spit on people.
It's so gross and stupid. Like, it's like punching the helmet. But so we obviously do dumb stuff on the field. Let's get in a fist fight. I'm going to hit you in your protective helmet.
I would love to say that there's no world where I could ever spit on someone, but in the heat of the battle, I don't know, man.
Now we're a fan
You're
of
seeing red.
It's because you protect the helmet. You're like, what am I going to do? I'll spit on you.
We
get you good.
We respect a spitball.
Well,
but not like straight spit.
No, that's ridiculous. If you don't have a straw.
No, it's not.
Well,
if you bring a straw,
if he pulls a straw out, I brought this for you, Jalen.
Jalen Ramsey won all of the battles in that game.
He did,
except for the one where he got kicked out. But there you go. Tyrod Taylor is going to start in Week 12 for the Jets.
What are you doing, Glenn?
You're giving up your competitive advantage.
You can't say this that early in the week.
The Ravens.
They're going to know what you're doing.
Oh, man.
Play your Ravens, D.
I'll bet the Ravens win now.
Yeah, I bet this is crazy.
This has been quite the start to the show. Shedeur Sanders expected to start, but they did say Dylan Gabriel, if he gets through concussion protocol, will be the starter.
The coaching staff has made it very clear.
We'll do everything in our power.
We do not want Shedeur to start.
But
he probably will.
He might. Drake London, PCL, sprain. It's going to be week to week. So at least a week, maybe more for Drake London. Kirk Cousins will once again, who's been awful.
Be on his own.
Yeah, he'll be on his own.
Kyle Pitts should be. No, he
should. That's the end of the sentence. He should, or no, he should. Comma.
We've had enough.
He won't.
We've had enough teams this year. I'm not disagreeing. I think Mooney's a play. I think Pitts is a play.
The process makes sense.
We've had several teams, the Browns, the Jets, and others, where you literally, because of the situation, you just don't play anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Mason Taylor should be good. Maybe with Terod this week, but we'll see.
Week 8 was the only example we had with Kirk Cousins and no.
Yeah, how many
London?
targets did?
9 targets, 9 receptions. So
9 yards?
No, 59.
59.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, over 10 fantasy points a tight end.
He should be a play.
Yeah.
If I was playing him, I'd probably play him over Ferguson this week.
No.
So
I have in Dynasty, I'm playing Mike this week.
Yes.
Our 2 great teams, and I've got Pitts and Andrews, and I will be playing Pitts.
All right. Well, Michael Penix will not be playing. He's on IR. He's going to miss the rest of the regular season with a left knee injury. We talked about it a little bit on the show, got the confirmation there, and there is still concern that there is damage to the ACL, which he tore twice in college.
Man.
In 2018 and 2020. Josh Jacobs, knee injury.
I'm telling you this.
You like a good ACL tear?
No,
Jason?
this Josh Jacobs news. I knew coming in because I have Josh Jacobs on. I'm so worried.
Oh, like you know the news, but you're still worried about what
I knew the news that it was good. It was a contusion, maybe even a chance to play this week. But as I'm reading this, suffered a knee contusion, and IR is, and it says in our dog, it says IR is not a consideration. But I couldn't get past IR. I was so scared. I was like, wait, is this new?
Yeah, I mean, we also have word that Marshawn Lloyd might be returning soon to the Packers, who had a great preseason. We're never going to see him in a regular season game. And I mean, once he plays, I'll believe it. But
man, like Marshawn Lloyd and
Emmanuel
Kendra Miller. Those guys are in sync.
Amari DiMercato, high ankle sprain, unlikely to play for the Cardinals in Week 12. It'll be Michael Carter and Bam Night.
Bam!
Kyle Shanahan said Monday that Brandon Ayuk's 21-day practice window will not be open this week. I bet it's never.
Wow.
I bet it's never week.
It does seem like it will be.
Nobody hates each other more than Ayuk and the 49ers. The fact that they had to write him a check and then he just got hurt only added to the already existing hatred between those parties. It's so weird. Dalton Kincaid, DMP on Monday's walkthrough. CJ Stroud, still a DMP.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's not great.
So maybe more Davis Mills. That was News and Notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. We'll take a break and jump into the waiver wire.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. And right now on Prize Picks, you can get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You like Josh Allen this week? How much? More on passing yards, more on rush yards, more on touchdowns? Well, you can do that, but only on Prize Picks. And now they have a new feed tab where you can go follow your friends. You know, you can directly copy their lineups in one click. Maybe you want to follow along with us on the footballers or just someone whose picks you like. You can do that on Prize Picks. We've been having so much fun this season in our head-to-head battles here on the footballers. And you know what I really like is making the beginning of the game really interesting. Like this past week, I had Javonte Williams. I took the less on in his first 5 rushing attempts. Will he have more or less than 18.5 yards? Bryce Young, will he have more or less than 7 completions? You know, things like that. It makes the beginning of the game truly an event, extra special, extra fun for your fantasy football weekend. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code FOOTBALLERS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code FOOTBALLERS to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
I feel like if the Bears were 2-8 and we had the same kind of prolonged rant about them at the top of the show after they got whooped on Monday Night Football, we'd hear from a lot of people. Do you think we're going to hear from the Raider loyalists?
I don't.
Or are
think
they
so.
defeated? Are they fully dead?
So Bears fans, and first of all, I've got a lot of Bears fans friends. I'm so happy for them. They keep standing alone at the top of the division. They are in first place alone. It is awesome. But they are always delusional. Every year,
fans are.
Yeah, but I don't know that the Raiders fans are like Cardinals fans. We're not delusional.
No,
we hate our team.
Right.
When people are like, "You guys suck," we're like, "Darn right, we do."
Yeah, get them.
Yeah,
get me.
I think the Raiders fans know what's going on, and they have to be so frustrated.
They want Pete gone. Obviously.
Wow.
They want Pete out. If Pete goes, Chip will go. Gino will go.
Man.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I didn't think it was going to work, but it seemed like on
the vibe
paper
would be better.
I thought they would be a better team.
I thought they would be better than
Crosby and a little bit of consistency on the offense. I truly believe that the crux of it all is entirely on Gino's shoulders. He looks like not the same player as even last year. Certainly not 2 years ago. He used to stand in the pocket, collapsing, man barreling down on him, and he was a dog. He would do what Jacoby Brissett's doing right now. And now this year, it's like pressure. He's just his arm strength doesn't look the same. Everyone gets to that.
Insane.
His accuracy is terrible. Every pass is just a little off.
I mean,
that's all it takes to throw
Tyler
these
Lockett
interceptions.
had a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah,
and Gino threw the wrong route. It was just like, dude, what are you doing to me?
Well, we'll move on. Let's talk waivers.
The Waiver Wire, presented by Jimmy John's.
The Colts, led by Alec Pierce, of course, coming back from the bye, and the Saints and all of their powerhouse fantasy options come back to your rosters this week. Week 12, we lose the Broncos, Chargers, Commanders, and Dolphins to the bye. No more H.N. this week. No R.J. Harvey. Hampton gets another week off.
Broncos need to figure it out, man.
The offensive
figure
side,
out your offense.
And the Commanders on bye as well. And then next week with Thanksgiving, that's the sound that signifies no bye weeks.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting into.
But then there's 4 more teams the next week.
Well, we don't take Thanksgiving off.
Yeah, gobble gobble.
Families are busy that week. All right, running back waiver pickups, guys. Who are the top names that you're looking for?
I mean, Emmanuel Wilson has to be at the top of the list. Should Josh Jacobs miss? Even if Josh Jacobs plays, I would expect we see more Emmanuel Wilson than we normally do. And, he came in and performed admirably against the Giants, 11 for 40, had the touchdown. They will take on Minnesota, which Minnesota is a disaster on offense, which is leading to teams being able to use their running backs a bit more in the second half. So he's at the tippy top for me.
Yeah, to me, there's like 4 guys, and they're all in similar situations where the starter is injured, we think. So you've got Emmanuel Wilson,
right,
where it's like, okay, Josh Jacobs,
yeah,
probably going to miss. There's a chance he doesn't. Sean Tucker looked great, overtook the leading role. Bucky is back at practice, so is he take another week off? Probably.
Even if Bucky's not back, like
Kenneth Gainwell.
Do they stick with Tucker, or do they go right back to Rashad White? I don't know.
They'll stick with Tucker. I
feel
yeah,
like it?
Yeah, I do. I think that transition's been made. Kenneth Gainwell, was just unstoppable in relief of Jalen Warren, who
again,
we're not sure if Warren will play. And then with the news of DeMarcado's high ankle injury,
right,
that makes the Cardinals a little bit more interesting. I was lower on Bam Knight and or Michael Carter because there were 3 of them. So those are the interesting situations. So when you're looking at them, to me, I say, okay, well then let's just talk upside. Who's the week winner? Should they be the guy that week? Who's the most talented? Who's in the best matchup? And I think Kenny Gainwell might be that guy.
Against Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sean Tucker matchup would be the Rams. Emmanuel Wilson is Minnesota, but at home. And, I probably lower the Cardinals down a few pegs just because it is committee between Knight and Carter. They're the least talented of the group, and it's Jacksonville, who, Jacoby's got a good matchup, right? Jacksonville gives up a lot of fantasy points to wide receivers, but I'm a little more hesitant about the running backs. Do you have those guys in a specific order where is it just cheapest guy you can get on Fab, or do you have a strong conviction around Carter or Bam Knight? Like
between those 2 guys, I think Bam Knight is the starter over Michael Carter. I think Carter got 2 carries last week. I don't have it in front of me. Obviously, DeMarcado was there, but Bam seems like the starter. So
the Carter catch and touchdown that got called back is still in my head a little bit. I do have Bam Knight one spot ahead right now, but you think Kenny Gainwell tops the list for you?
yeah, I don't have any new information on Jaylen Warren. And really, by the time waivers go through tomorrow morning, there will probably be new information that changes the
a little bit of
opinions
the order
shared here in the order, and we will update them on our website, obviously right until waivers are going through. So, double check that because it makes a huge difference. I mean, these guys are backups with great opportunity.
Gainwell is difficult because just judging the Warren injury, he tweaked the ankle. The Steelers, it was a blowout win. Jaylen Warren himself said, I could have gone back in. That doesn't mean he for sure could have. And then
I'm tough.
And then you mix in
most guys would have gotten surgery.
On top of that, like Kenny Gainwell was already taking a lot of snaps in that game before the Warren injury actually happened. I was messaging because we got Warren. Warren was my start of the week. I thought he's going to have a fantastic game. Kyle and I are messaging back and forth like, where did Warren get hurt? Like, what is going on? And the injury had not occurred yet. And so I think Kenny Gainwell deserves to be up a bit higher. And then I would, between the Cardinals guys and Bashal Tutin, I don't know who I would actually want.
Well, Tutin,
but he came back in the game.
Yeah, Tutin's utilization was pretty interesting. They do play each other, ironically, this week, Tutin and the Jacksonville Jaguars facing Arizona. You have more.
It was strange.
Yeah, you have obviously the excitement of a younger rookie that was getting involved, but Etienne is the number one there.
But that is he? Because Tutin was the number one guy last week until he got hurt. I know Etienne had a great game, but I'm saying like in terms of the
felt a little hot handy.
Maybe it was that, but Tutin was only in the game for 32% of the snaps because he got injured, missed a huge chunk of it, did eventually come back and take some snaps. But in that time, 15 carries for 74 yards.
That's a lot.
So he is. I mean, like I feel like he needs to be up on top of the radar. As in, are they going to work him in more? Where Bam Knight, well, I guess we haven't heard anything on Trey Benson, so it's like the Cardinals guys seem like they're just a temporary situation. Emmanuel Wilson, even though he feels like the strongest play if Jacobs misses, he's just temporary.
I would probably add Tutin over the Cardinals guys.
That's how I have it.
Because you got a Tennessee matchup next week. The Cardinals matchup is bad, and it's a committee. Not that Tutin isn't. It's just it's a bad matchup. I think you're going to be touchdown or bust with Bam Knight, and you're going to be looking for a handful of catches from Michael Carter, and I think you've convinced me to move those guys and flip the order.
Yeah, you guys have convinced me to lower the Cardinals in general, simply because it will be Carter catching more passes and not a great matchup against Jacksonville. There's also guys out there that are available in about half of leagues that aren't necessarily dealing with an injury ahead of them, but they're getting run, and that's Devin Singletary and Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is used around the goal line a ton. The matchup against the Saints is like, okay, maybe this is a game where you can be up. I know they don't have Drake London and they don't have Penix, so maybe it's far more competitive. But they love Algier. They give him work around the goal line, and so you could do worse than that. And then Singletary's just getting actual legit work, but he plays against Detroit. Not a great matchup.
But he is.
He's the goal line.
He's the goal line running back. He had 4 carries inside the 5 just last week, and Tracy has not had a carry inside the 5 all year.
One of the big drop candidates being mentioned at running back, which I get it, and I would probably do it if I had to, right? We're in 3 weeks until playoffs, so you got to make your maneuvers.
Sure.
You can't be just banking on, Kamani Vidal's going into the bye. He was hurt. He's going into the bye. We have pretty recent, hours ago, comments from...
Do we have some Hampton stuff?
From Jim Harbaugh on Amari and Hampton. Basically, he had said earlier this month that Hampton could return to practice after the bye. He's been on an injured reserve for so long. And then the recent comments yesterday, we'll make that decision next week. It depends on how he progresses this week. But you've got the bye week. You've got the Vidal injury, and then you're talking about you know.
And then you've got the really confusing part with Vidal, which is the red light, green light.
Yeah.
Is
What-
the
what-
green
I was
light
gonna bring it
on
up.
by?
I was going to bring
Is
it up.
this the week? And then
Yeah.
you don't get that, and then you come back, you think, oh, no, this next game. No, maybe it's not. Maybe. So,
Yeah, is it game to game or is it just week to week?
yeah.
Try to move Vidal to the Hampton manager, even if it's on the cheap versus dropping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then-
I wouldn't drop Vidal.
Would you drop Chuba?
Oh, man. That one's so funny because
Oh.
Chuba is, since the takeover has happened,
5, 3, and 4.
3 and 4 carries in 3 consecutive weeks. A guy that
Yes.
I
Cut
mean,
him.
I will say
He's
as
insurance.
Make
as
your
an
playoff run.
insurance back, it really depends. Like if you've
Trade
got Rico,
Chuba to the Rico manager.
I mean that's really this is the time of year where you need to protect your guys. You know, you say you want Bashal Tootin, you can't have him. I'm the ETN manager. I've already rostered him. In your leagues, you need to have your backs. If you've got CMC, you need to have Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
This is the time of year.
And if you don't need a running back this week and you want to maybe steal somebody on the cheap that could be utilized down the stretch, Chris Rodriguez, 15 carries, looked amazing, 79 rushing yards on the bye.
Gets Denver.
It's not good matchups.
right after that, but the opportunities will be there.
Yeah, and then Jason said it too. Make sure you insure your guys. Blake Corum, make sure you pick him up. Keaton Mitchell, if you have Derrick Henry.
Yep. Tank Bigsby
I think
would be a league winner if
Bigsby
Saquon goes
is,
down.
if I have none of them, Bigsby would be at the top for me. You have no idea if anyone would get hurt.
And Brian Robinson.
Yeah, Brian Rob, but I feel just so confident that should Saquon miss time, Tank Bigsby will be awesome.
And when it comes to Blake Corum, he's averaging 10 carries a game over the last month. Like,
Sure.
not just backup.
Wide receiver pickups, guys. We did get word that Jaden Reed also is potentially designated to return soon.
We'll see.
Although the comment is we'll see. We have some names to talk about, quite a few of them. Christian Watson, only 37% rostered, 2 touchdowns last week. They lost Tucker Kraft for the season, so I think the target share is going to be more consistent for Watson. He is at the top of my list, along with Alec Pierce coming back off the bye, who's been on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, what does Alec Pierce need to do to get onto your fantasy roster?
Yeah, that's
This
a
is-
fair
it's
point.
Wild stuff. I mean, it's pretty high. It's 58%. So I'm sure most people are like, well, he's rostered in my league. We have the numbers from Sleeper, 58%. That means he is available in places.
Well, especially into the bye. Like if you were making a
Right.
move, people might have cut him. He's been just consistently great. I mean, Michael Pittman is averaging 12.3 points per game right now. I'm trying to see where Alec Pierce is. He's at about 10. So
He started slow, too.
I think the issue with Alec Pierce, it's weird for such a deep threat, but he rarely gets touchdowns. He's like the big bomb, catch it, contested, and kind of fall down. I wish they utilized him more around the goal line. It's just not how they use him. To me, Michael Wilson is.
You don't wish that, Jason.
No, I don't because okay.
You're just being a
For
liar.
for Alec Pierce, Alec Pierce wishes they used him more around the goal
There,
line.
I think
that's
he's
fair.
a little overdue on the deep touchdowns because he's got a couple of those ones he went up for and probably could have finished them. He had 7 touchdowns last year. He's only got 1 this year and still competing at 10 points per game.
Michael Wilson, obviously, you're not chasing another 185-yard game, but we
Yeah,
talked about
you are. 200. Let's go.
We talked about, the Jacksonville Jaguars are more of a pass funnel. They've got a very good rush defense. They don't give up a lot of points to the running back, but they do to the wide receiver. Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, talk about Harrison's appendix,
so
please.
This is,
What is an appendix?
There's not
Start there.
The appendix is in the garbage somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
What does it do for you?
Nothing. No, obviously you could take it out and be fine. I don't know. Not a doctor.
I believe you are correct that it does not help us.
So the timeline for this, we've got only a handful. I mean, this happens a lot of times. It happens in training camp or the off season or whatever. We got a handful of examples over the last couple of years at different positions of a guy who had appendicitis in season, and it's like some guys miss 8 days, 11 days. Some guys miss 3 weeks. This was later in the week for Marvin Harrison. This is on a team that we're not playoff bound. He is a young cornerstone piece. So I feel like if I have to take my guess as to whether Marvin plays or misses this week, I believe Marvin Harrison should and will miss this week. So Michael Wilson is right at the tippy top for me. It's like Alec Pierce, Christian Watson, Michael Wilson are probably my top 3, and then my next 2 would be Darnell Mooney because of the situation, and Jaden Higgins, rookie wide receiver for the Texans.
Yeah.
He's getting more and more involved, a lot of targets, and he's had a good game with Davis Mills.
Did we mention Luther Burden yet?
No.
The production wasn't there, but we had 5 targets. We had 3 for 27, and he out-snapped Zacchaeus finally.
He's tough for me, man.
I
want to believe, but I just don't think you're ever going to get consistency no matter what from him.
You may not, but this is just,
DJ Moore's healthy. That was the big move for me, was his health.
In deeper leagues, Luther Burden, I think, is a good person to stash.
I think he is an exceptional athlete with the ball in his hands. I don't think he's a very good wide receiver yet as a young prospect. So to me, that's a DFS dart throw, a guy that will be cheap, low rostered, but could have a big, monstrous play. I don't think I want to roster him that much in,
He's Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Green Bay, 2 or 3 on the road for your 3 weeks heading into the playoffs.
That's pretty tough.
And it's
probably
tough.
Don't
I mean,
do that.
look, I traded for Roma Dunze, and I have some regrets. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, you've got Luther Burden.
Colson
Loveland. There's too many people for anyone to have absolute consistency.
Swift and Monangai. The Michael Wilson one will be an interesting kind of a bet on the waiver wire, because a lot of the times people react to the biggest score of the week. Mm-hmm. And when you put up a number like
he'll be expensive.
185, he'll be expensive. And then I'm looking at some of the recent ones, like you mentioned. Austin Hooper missed 2 games. Minka Fitzpatrick missed 1. Big Ben missed 1. It was later in the week. I want some news. We have no news on whether they expect him back. But that makes such a big difference, because he'd probably be number 1 on the list.
Yeah, and if Marv is there, you're not playing Michael Wilson.
Well, not you.
Well, sure, yes, your team.
I might do it anyway, because Jacoby is a machine right now.
He really is.
He's a 350 yard. If he doesn't throw for 350 against Jacksonville this week, I'll be shocked. You think Bam Knight and Michael Carter are carrying the load there? 57 pass attempts. That might be a season low from this point on. It's not impossible for him to go out and throw for another 400. Huge was the number 1 drop candidate.
That would mean that Trevor Lawrence is having a big game. So that's where I would.
Well, no. That just means Space Shaw Tootin and ETN are dominating the Cardinals.
I would.
Huge is the number 1 drop across all positions.
He is
2 gooses in 4 games. But that whole team was a goose this week.
Yeah, I get it. It feels bad, but he was still at 90% of the snaps. I would not be dropping Huge.
Neither would I. Keenan Allen I'd be okay with.
Yeah.
But again, that would just be based on, would you drop Keenan if you could get Watson? Would you drop Keenan if you could get Pierce?
Yes to both.
Yeah. One final name to throw out there, at least from me, is Mac Hollins. Need to pay attention to Kayshon Boutte and his injury. He's expected to return to practice. I don't know if that means he plays this week, but Drake May's been on fire. Yeah.
Try to clear that again.
Yeah. Drake May has been on fire. 3 of the last 4 games for Mac Hollins have been 89 yards, 106 yards, 64 yards. He's on the field a lot, and the matchups, Cincinnati and the Giants coming up,
I'm in on it too. I think Mac.
That's a type of guy that Andy, you have to be salivating right now for your roster.
For my roster,
you're
Mac
Hollins. Mac Hollins.
I played him last week.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
in one of our leagues.
Great call.
Greg Dortch is also a pick up and play option immediately if Harrison misses, and he will be way cheaper than Michael Wilson. He was 6 for 66 and a touchdown. It's not a great start, but I'd play him against Jacksonville with Jacoby. Again, the yards, this was the argument for Michael Wilson last week. If he throws for 300 and you don't have Harrison, break it up.
Yeah, where
does it go?
Well,
And
it could be like the
Xavier Weaver.
That Bills Tampa game where we're like, I don't know where the yards
Where'd the
went.
points go?
They all disappeared.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll talk tight ends, defenses, quarterbacks. What's up, Foot Clan? Olipop is a new kind of soda with high fiber and 2 to 5 grams of sugar per can. And Olipop's latest collaboration is with Paramount Pictures, introducing Pineapple Paradise, the pineapple-iest soda from Bikini Bottom, inspired by SpongeBob's iconic home. The new limited time flavor comes in 5 collectible SpongeBob can designs, and you never know which design you're going to get. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, opens December 19th only in theaters. Look, I love soda. We all love soda. I grew up drinking soda. It was our special like pizza night thing, and then you become addicted to it. But the sugar, it's not good for you. I'm a big fan of Olipop. It's low sugar soda. You get the fizz. You get to enjoy it. I love cherry vanilla. That's my favorite flavor. And now they've got the brand new Pineapple Paradise, which I've already had. It's very, very good. And you can get $2 off a 4-pack of Olipop. Go to drinkolipop.com/footballers. Works on any flavor of 4-pack, including SpongeBob. Any retailer, it works there too. And Olipop is sold online at drinkolipop.com and Amazon and available in almost 50,000 retailers nationwide, including Costco, Walmart, Target, Publix, Whole Foods, Kroger, and H-E-B.
All right. We are in the heart of the fantasy season, and the injuries are already piling up. ACLs, stingers, and turf toes, oh my. In fact, the only thing right now that feels good is having the perfect backup ready to go. So wouldn't it be great if you had a perfect backup in real life too? With Progressive, you get more than just a policy. You get a playbook full of coverage options that you can count on for your home or for your auto. You want to customize your protection? No problem. You can build your coverage just like your fantasy team, making sure you got the right players in every position and a backup plan when you need it most. And when life throws an audible, like that fumble in the driveway or a hailstorm at home, Progressive is there with 24/7 support. Don't get caught without a great backup. Visit Progressive.com to quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party issuers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to term, policy, limits, and conditions.
Tight end waiver pickups. I have some interesting questions for you guys. You know, some of the names there not heavily rostered or at least available. I want to compare Juwan Johnson and Colston Loveland as an option for your team. Johnson coming off the bye, probably available, or at least more than he was. Colston Loveland, he had a big play, not a lot of plays this last game. The matchup for Johnson, Atlanta, Miami, Tampa. Colston Loveland, it's Pittsburgh, Philly, Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm looking on a week-by-week basis with matchups. Okay. Atlanta is very good against tight end. Pittsburgh is not. So I see them in a somewhat similar tier, even though they're very, very different players. Juwan Johnson's going to get the targets. You go like, I want a tight end out there who's going to get 6, 7, 8 targets pretty guaranteed. That is not Colston Loveland. But in the right matchup, I would rather have a big play opportunity from Loveland than Juwan Johnson to probably do very little against Atlanta.
He kind of was getting going before the break, but you're on the Loveland side there?
Barely.
I'm very much team Loveland, but I would take Juwan between the two of them.
For this week?
Yeah.
Mark Andrews, pretty heavily rostered.
He's weird, though, because it's like
his scores.
I feel like you see competitive leagues where Mark Andrews is just chilling on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
So you have a peek.
Yeah, A.J. Barner is someone that we should bring up. They talked about getting him the ball more.
He's just 23 years old. You know this?
Yeah, he's a young guy, second-year player. He had 11 targets this last week. If that's like, they talk him up and they actually involve him and they start to have this young breakout.
Where's Rashid Shaheed, man?
Seriously.
They trade for him to open it up for Barner?
Seriously.
Feels that way.
Yeah, Shaheed had 5 targets, only played half the game.
Yeah. Any other big tight end names that you
big tight? We want to talk Darnell Washington?
I meant physically big.
Big tight ends.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh man, that guy. Oh, I need to go watch it play again, just once a day. That's how like my new morning wake up routine is. Like splash some water on my face, watch that Darnell Washington play, and just get pumped up for the day. Be like, I can
follow
do
it up with some.
Imika Egbegbo.
Watch that clip and get your day going.
And I would throw out this one is. But should Jamar Chase lose his appeal?
He will.
The video
suggests
he probably will lose.
Yeah, that dude's getting suspended. They should, if he appeals that, they should give him an extra game.
Noah Fant had 6 targets this last week and about 48% of the snaps.
Hit that button again.
Oh, I said, I prefaced, but we have seen this offense when you have a competent passer, which Grandpa Joe is. Last week was just unfortunately terrible. When one of the big wide receivers misses out, last year it was T. Higgins, and it was just Mike Gesicki was plug and play when T. Higgins was not in there. Just saying that Noah Fant could be an option.
It's not a bad thought.
Defenses this week, goodness gracious. Believe it or not, the Browns, just 33% rostered.
Oh, man.
Because of the Ravens game. It was the Ravens game.
Oh, man.
Which I pushed through. I kept them in there. Now you get the benefits, which is, by the way, 3 weeks till the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
What if I told you 2 of the 3 matchups?
Yep.
It's Las Vegas next week. Then it's at home against San Francisco. I don't think that's that bad.
No, I think it's okay.
And then it's Tennessee at home
That is
for your playoff clinching week.
Yeah, and if you didn't learn anything from this last week playing the Ravens, they were still outstanding. They were great. If you don't have the courage to play them at home against San Francisco, that's fine. Don't drop them.
right.
Just hold on to them.
You should play San Francisco against them in that week. If you want, pick up another defense.
Yeah.
This week you've got the Lions against the Giants. Seahawks get Tennessee. Just follow Tennessee around. Jacksonville the week after, and then the Browns. If you could go Seattle, Jacksonville, back to the Browns, that'd be nice. 49ers play Carolina this week. Carolina just put up a lot of yards. I don't know how much I love that one. But Baltimore plays the Jets and Tyrod Taylor, and they've been playing great. They're 14-point home favorites. Maybe the key to the competitive advantage question.
Who's 14 points?
The Ravens. The key to the competitive advantage thing is if it's not going to be competitive, it can't be a competitive advantage. And a 14-point favorite situation.
We also were trying to explain that to Aaron Glenn earlier.
Maybe it's an uncompetitive advantage.
Yes. You're doing your team a disservice.
Yeah.
The other team is like, we don't care. We don't put Fields out, put Taylor out. We don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, those are kind of the highlights for me. Do you guys have any other defensive names to mention?
No, I think we've run through it.
The Jaguars get after the quarterback a lot, and Brissett does take sacks. So even though I do think that the Cardinals with Brissett, they're putting up a lot of yards, I think you could still score fantasy points against them. And you saw that 2 weeks ago when Brissett had a good game, but also was responsible for 2 defensive touchdowns on fumbles. So the Jaguars are widely available, and I'd be willing to start them.
That was this week's Waiver Wire presented by Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's new toasted pizza sandwiches available in 2 flavors, 3-cheese pizza sandwich and Sicilian pizza sandwich. Oh, that's good at participating locations for a limited time while supplies last.
Pizza? Now that's what I call a sandwich.
Yeah.
Full stream ahead.
Streaming quarterback options. I'm going to let Mike go first because I went in to claim it. And Mike
I got into the document first.
Yeah, you.
It's Jacoby Brissett, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
been awesome.
5 straight top 12 finishes.
You know who that?
He's almost not a streamer. Like you should
I
just be
know,
starting him
yet,
every week.
He's almost a lock, and it feels so bad. I mean, like last week, I had him as my starting quarterback going into the week, and I looked every day on the waiver wire, like. Yeah. Do I pivot here? I'll just stick with him. And it wasn't great the whole game, but there are only 2 quarterbacks in football with 5 straight top 12 finishes this year, Mahomes and Jacoby.
I'm looking at Sleeper right now in front of me. Jacoby Brissett, 22% roster.
Oh, man.
Like, it doesn't make sense for the run he's been on. I guess maybe people got freaked out by San Francisco on the road maybe, but Jacoby is he's there.
Yeah.
He's there if you need him.
I'm going with Jared Goff against the Giants. Jared Goff, we didn't like what we saw against that Philadelphia offense or defense, but we didn't like Jordan Love against Philly. We don't like anybody against Philly. Jared Goff and the Lions, they bounce back from losses, and they do it with vitriol and anger. Mm-hmm. And Jared Goff against the Giants, I mean, poor Giants.
At home, in a dome.
Highest implied point total of the week, 30 points. Home in a dome.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful with that one this time. Jared Goff against the Giants is the pick.
My streaming option is Sam Darnold off of 2 really, really bad weeks. Now, 2 weeks ago, he wasn't bad. His team just annihilated the Cardinals on special teams and in every
4
fashion.
points.
And then this last week, he was bad 4 interceptions, looked like the, seeing ghosts version of Sam Darnold. I don't know if you've seen the clip of the defensive player after the game at the press conference. You want to talk about getting a quarterback's back. Like, most of the time, the player is going to get their guys back and be like, we support them. Now, sometimes the defense is like, we're doing our
Bengals.
job. On the flip side. But this was genuine. Like, he was so mad at people being mad at Darnold and just talking about how awesome Darnold is, how great he is. If you have a problem with him, expletive you. Like, this team has his back. He is good. They are, 13.5-point road favorites against Tennessee. Tennessee, they are 24th in scheduled adjusted fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks over the last 5 weeks. Darnold is a fine play. I do prefer both of your plays over Darnold, but there's 3 good options on the waivers this week. And Purdy, I'll throw him out as well. I think Purdy is probably shouldn't even be on waivers.
All right. Yeah, that's a good point. That'll do it for the streaming quarterback options this week on Full Stream Ahead. Couple of reminders. We're getting close to giving away the signed James Cook jersey. That's still available for entry. FootClanGiveaway.com, free to enter over there. And head over to the community, jointhefoot.com, become a part of the Foot Clan. Get access to the ultimate dashboard, bonus weekly episodes, lots of different tools and resources, and the new Trade Analyzer tool as well. And tomorrow we'll have Thursday night to preview because football never stops. We'll have backup options. We'll have mailbag and a whole lot more. And hopefully some updates on the news front for maybe some of these running backs that we hope are coming back. Maybe some of these injuries,
Did we share the Aaron Rodgers news?
Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers, this is from Pelissero, who didn't talk about future Hall of Fame or Pro Bowl quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He just called him Aaron Rodgers, which is kind of weird. He underwent further tests Monday that confirmed he won't need surgery on the fractured left wrist. However, he has to get cleared by the doctors to move forward.
Okay. They'll find a way on the field, I think. That'll do it for today's episode of the show. Thank you for joining us. Back tomorrow, back Thursday, back Friday. Lots of shows the rest of this week. Looking forward to it. Let's get you ready for the playoffs.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.